In this episode of Harbor Freight Review, we'll be looking at the Central Machinery 8-inch benchtop drill press, item number 60238. It features a paperweight design, a poorly manufactured chuck, a significant vibration, and a work light. Today we're going to be talking about the Central Machinery 5-speed desktop or benchtop drill press. Now look, I'm going to be honest with you. You can see this thing's been through some use. And all this abuse happened in about 2 times of using it, and it's been collecting dust since. I'm not even going to demonstrate this thing. I'm going to tell you right now at the beginning, just don't buy it. And I hate to say it, I love Harbor Freight, and I like Central Machinery tools. They generally do a good job. But when they built this thing, they went about this in the worst way possible. They approached this tool with, how can we build a drill press to compete and make it cheap? And that's what they did. They made it cheap. Everything about this is horrible to me. And I'm going to give you a couple demonstrations of the horribleness, but it not in action. So first of all, this bench, it barely ever will lock in place. So it's got this little screw tab on the side on a slick shaft, and if you put anything on this, like a piece of metal or anything like that you really need to punch through, you're going to end up pushing this thing down. Also, it's never level. Another big pain in the butt for me. Now, I will say I understand that this was not meant to do heavy projects. It's a benchtop drill press. You should be using it for wood, things of that nature. But why, if that is true, would you put the size motor that they put on it, and it does somewhere, 760 to 3,000 RPM. So it's got a lot of speed behind it and a powerful motor, but then you can't use it. It only has a 2-inch spindle drop, so you can't get in through anything bigger than a 2x4. And the other big complaint I have about this is this chuck. So when I bought this, the key that they gave me didn't even fit it. So you couldn't even tighten down the drill bit onto it. With that said, even if you try and hold onto it like this and tighten it down like that, it still doesn't get tight enough. The drill bit will end up getting stuck in almost any kind of stock you put under it. And then, even more annoying to me, and I understand a lot of these less inexpensive drill presses, their speed ratios are all done by the belt inside, and you gotta switch it. And I mean, that's fine, I guess, but it's one of those things, like, it's gonna break. I haven't used it enough to actually say if the belt's gonna break or not. That's probably the strongest thing on this. But ultimately, it vibrates really bad. Even when I bolted it down, it still had wobble to it, and I really hate it because I like Central Machinery and I like Harbor Freight tools. They always, for the most part, pick good tools for their lineups, but this thing, ultimately, I would not even give it a buy, even at the price. Now, Central Machinery does make bigger models of this, and I've used their stand-up one, and it's excellent. And so I don't think it's a problem with the manufacturer. I think it's how they approach this tool. They were trying to get something into a specific price point, and just, it is a drill press. And I guess if you're using it for small, lightweight materials where you're not using a 1/2-inch bit or something like that, and you're not going through metal, it probably has some applications for you. So if you need something lightweight, it probably will work for you. I've never used it for small things. For the couple times I did use it, I was using it to drill 16-inch steel and a couple other lightweight plates, basically sheet metal, and it just didn't do a good job. And for the few times I used it for my wood projects, with the wobble and everything else, I couldn't get a clean hole. I bought this to have a steady platform to drill through to get nice clean holes, and I was doing better with my power drill. So maybe if you're doing a lightweight project, it is something for you. But ultimately, I've had nothing but bad experiences out of this thing. And the 2-inch spindle drop just doesn't even seem, it's comical. They should at least done a 2.5-inch spindle drop, in my opinion, because by the time you're through the board, you have no other cutting depth. So, but that's my review on it. And personally, like I said, I would not give this a buy, even at the price, unless you're doing a small, lightweight project, or you're like me and like junk sitting in your background when you're doing videos. Alright guys, now onto something serious. How does this thing fare in a zombie apocalypse? Well, first of all, it doesn't fare at all as a tool. So how could it even be useful in a zombie apocalypse? Like, I really need to get back to how much I dislike this thing. It is really not worth even having in your shop. So the best thing you can do with this is actually probably give it to a zombie. Don't drop it on it. Give it to them. Let them get frustrated with how bad of a tool it is. And maybe they'll go tell their friends and they'll all gather around it, and then you could kill all the zombies that way. But really, this thing's a 0. You could drop it off a roof, and that's probably the best use for this tool, is just dropping it off a roof. With or without a zombie apocalypse, just do it anyways. You'll get more use out of it that way.
Hey everyone, just want to let you know I'm not affiliated with Harbor Freight and they're not sponsoring me yet. I'm just doing this because I love Harbor Freight and all their tools. I've had lots of great experiences with them, and they're always helpful. The staff is really knowledgeable, and it's really, for the most part, the best bang for your buck. So just want to make it clear, definitely not sponsored yet, Harbor Freight. Call me. And I hope y'all enjoy the videos.